So the Samsung Galaxy S25 has been out for about a week now, and I went ahead and bought it. I've kind of used it a little bit. I've compared it against basically most other Samsung phones before this, and there are some key takeaways that I felt like. I truly do feel like if you have a Samsung Galaxy S22 or below, then this is like a pretty good upgrade. You're going to be getting a much better phone. If you're coming from a Samsung Galaxy S23, then it's kind of like 80% there. Like if you're okay with your Galaxy S23, you will have a better time with your S25, but I feel like that's the cutoff point. The S22 is for sure, if you want to upgrade, go for it. But the S23 and S24, I think are still very comparable against the Galaxy S25. Now the big thing to keep in mind here, this phone was kind of a small upgrade just from the thought process alone from the S24. It wasn't supposed to be like this massive upgrade coming from the Galaxy S24. I think they were focusing in on a couple of cool things, the performance upgrade, and then maybe like the AI upgrades. Other than that, this was supposed to be kind of like a mid-size mid-tier upgrade for the most part, to be honest. When you look at the outside, almost identically the same as the Galaxy S24. I feel like this phone still looks pretty good, obviously. The 6.2-inch dynamic LTPO AMOLED display is still very nice. It still gives you the same brightness as the previous phone. And I do think for the most part, if you're going to pick up a phone, this is a very good option, right? This is a very good display, but so was the Galaxy S24, right? Like the S24 was pretty much neck and neck with this type of phone. So there really wasn't that big of a difference there, in my opinion, either, especially when you take a look at that price tag. The price tag of the Samsung Galaxy S25 is $800 brand new. The price tag of a Samsung Galaxy S24 in the used market is around $400. Like that phone has depreciated like crazy. And if you are going to go through and pick up a phone, I definitely look at a device like the Samsung Galaxy S25 and I'm like, yeah, this is a really good phone. I like it a lot. But I do feel like that the S24, it's not really that far off either. So kind of keep that in mind. I think that is one of those big things to keep in mind here if you're going to pick up a device. Now, on top of that, obviously the S25 is giving you wireless charging and reverse wireless charging, the triple camera setup. All those things are still the same as you probably would have expected. And I like that a lot from the S25. But like I said, the S24, S23, S22, S21 all had that same type of capability, minus the S21 having that frosted plastic back. So that's kind of how I feel about the S25 on the exterior. Now, the cameras, I feel like this phone's camera is great. It is really, really good. If you're going to use this camera on an everyday basis, you are going to be getting a very solid camera experience from it. You're getting a triple camera setup on the backside of this thing, 8K capability. Like, this is a very solid upgrade. But here's the thing, I can't really tell that big of a difference from this phone and the Galaxy S24. Like, I genuinely feel like these phones are relatively around the same thing. Like, there isn't really that big of a difference there. And once again, I feel like if you're going to go through and pick up a device, that is one of those things you're going to have to keep in mind, how it compares against some of the competition. And there really isn't that big of a difference from the S24 to the S25, and maybe even from the S23 to the S25 either. When it comes down to basically the software longevity, that's the thing I like about this phone a lot. This phone's going to be lasting for many years to come. And if you're going to buy this phone, it's definitely going to be getting you a lot of software updates. So I do think that is kind of a nice thing to keep in mind here with this type of phone. So this thing's going to be lasting for quite some time. So I definitely do like that a lot about this particular device when it comes down to it. But also when it comes down to its performance, like this is without a doubt one of the best type of performing phones you can buy. And if you're going to upgrade for one thing, you could upgrade just because of the performance alone. And that is in and of itself probably going to be one of the biggest improvements here. Like that type of phone, by giving you that Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset with 12 gigabytes of RAM, that is top tier performance. That type of chipset is going to be killing it. And without a doubt, if you are going to go through and pick up a phone, you are going to be getting a very nice type of device when it comes down to that side. And that's the stuff I love, like when I'm going through and buying phones. I love being able to buy devices like this that's going to be giving me like a top tier type of performance. And this is going to be holding up very well when it comes down to that side. So when I look at the Galaxy S25, about a week later, and I see how it's been kind of holding up against the competition, I feel like this phone excels in the performance, and it's only going to get better there as this phone's chipset gets more optimized. But I feel like if you have a Galaxy S24 or a Galaxy S23, upgrading to this phone would almost be like a waste of money. What I would rather do is I would use my Galaxy S23 or S24 or go and buy one of those other types of phones, use them for like maybe a year or two, and then buy my Galaxy S25 once this phone gets depreciated a little bit in the used market. So that's kind of what I feel like I would do. Again, it's not really the biggest deal in the world, but I feel like that is an example of kind of my thought process behind that phone. This is a very, very good phone, but unless you're coming from a Galaxy S22 below, or a Google Pixel 6 or below, or an iPhone 10 or below, then I would probably recommend just going through and kind of just, using your phones until this one goes down in value a little bit. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, till then.